Hey everyone, this is Black7 here, and today we'll be discussing our CIL Finals and Team Builder, as well as our final match in the CIL Season 5. Up as we're up against Kevin BGC. So, even though his name does not implies that he might be a VGC player, he's not. So yeah, we'll just call him by Kev. So basically, this is the finals of this season, and funny enough, we're both like undefeated in this throughout the season. Almost like it's like almost the same situation that happened like the last time I was in like CIL. I think it was, but like I don't know. Like I think this is one. I forgot who. Like no, I think it was Chase that like definitely like went undefeated. So yeah. And like made the finals, and that one we won that one. So yeah. So this time let's talk about this game. So, well, Kevin here has a very interesting squad. I'd say probably it looks a very like heat slash fire. Even though I'm just hovering over a steel mon, but like it looks it's very interesting with the Mega Aerodactyl, Jirachi, Zygarde, Blacephalon. Like you don't see Blacephalon draft teams for a while. Azumarill, like 2 waters. Then again, I had 2 waters in my other team, in my other like CIL team. So he has a Tangrowth for his Regen Core, Meltank, Jolteon, Crobat, Hydreigon. So I kind of want to go just hit these points down like just quickly. So yeah, so that's his team. So basically, he has a very fast squad with a very strong like Regen Core. So between X and Tangrowth, he has very viable walls in like X, Tangrowth, like Meltank, Jirachi, even like Azumarill can do well, especially if he brings like the Perish Whirlpool set. So yeah, this is gonna be this is probably the most trickiest battle I've had to build for this CIL, because like it really comes down to like the sets that he was gonna bring against me, and that's on how I approached the game. So like there were several Pokemon I wanted to consider. Like initially I had Kyurem on my squad over Char X, as you see. It was a regular Charizard, but like I'll change it in a bit. So but then I changed to Charizard X because I felt like that reason, but I'll get to that in a bit. And I also considered Buzzwole. However, like yeah, it's a Crobat and an Aerodactyl and a lot of special attackers, which just pressure it. So then what was the other mon? I almost picked up or you considered using Greninja, because like the spikes might sound like very attractive at first, just as they're stacking him, but then I thought of it more and I realized, and it was not that Grin was bad, it was just like the team structure I was bringing, and it just really became very annoying to like bring Grin without one of my 6 mons you see up there. So, and lastly Mew, it like missed the cut because it was just like it got heavily pressured by things like Hydreigon, Blacephalon, Azu, and like Jirachi, so it wasn't really a reliable pick for this game. Alright, so we get into it. So here we have problems, the Fable, which is unaware, but a standard cleric set, and Bitmax physical defensive, because one, I really don't want the Fable to like drop to a Z Belly Drum, because Z Belly Drum is very scary for my team. I don't know if that just picked up, so so yeah, unaware prevents any ignores any like stat boost, so yeah, from the opponent. So like let's say Coil from Zygarde, Curse from Miltank, and like obviously set up from like Azumarill with Belly Drum, like it's nullified. However, choice band Azumarill is a problem because, like, hence the name to the Fable. Because unfortunately, I don't really have any switch-ins to it except for like maybe Zapdos and Porygon 2 and like Among Us, but that's limited. Especially if he brings hazards and wears down the Porygon, so yeah. And this is like very like I kind of keep this thing alive, like pretty much until it's done its job, because I have to keep the Fable alive until like all his setup potential mons are gone. Like I know some mons like Jirachi and can set up with Calm Mind, but that Pokemon can beat Clefable 1v1 because of obviously Psyshock. And Psyshock, Toxic, Flash Cannon, whatever, so, and Iron Head Fletchers, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, so yeah. But yeah, Clefable I just had to like bring, it was like probably the most mandatory mon to bring in the game. I'm gonna skip over Charizard, and next we have Breaker the Zapdos. And this set's kind of interesting because I have like max Phys-F, well near max Phys-F with some HP investment in like, well not near max, like some special defense investment in like special attack. I think the special attack is to ensure that I two-shot like Azu or something, like AV Azu or something like that. I don't know, but like I decided to run like Discharge, mainly because Discharge allows me to get us like a 30% chance to first a paralysis on something on this team, whether it be, let's say, a Hydreigon switching in, or even like a Tangrowth, Toxapex, of course, because like Toxapex is really annoying for my team. And speaking of Toxapex, I do have Defog just to remove hazards from with Toxic Spikes and Rocks, and that's very important. So, and also if any screens if he brings, so yeah. Lastly, I do have HP Ice because I felt that not having HP Ice was kind of detrimental. And the fact that it was just kind of like a 4-move Sauce Syndrome thing. Like, I would have put Toxic on the set, but I just felt like one, Amoonguss, which has Toxic, does the better job. Obviously, Amoonguss can't miss because it's Poison type. And the other is because I want to hit Hydreigon for some damage. So yeah, and Zygarde, that's it. Obviously I have Roost, so again static because static Discharge just because I want to like paralyze his mon, Zygarde, like Arrow, even Crobat, like any Pokemon that make physical contact. I just want to paralyze them, especially the Jirachi. I forgot to mention that one. So then we have this Apapa Berry, which helps us take like one. This is pretty much like a free recover, a free roost for us if it gets like very low. So that without actually having to click roost. So that's really cool. So yeah. But that's about it, I guess. Next we have, I'll probably skip over Porygon because these two kind of go, Porygon 2 and Charizard X kind of go hand in hand. So next we have Escadrille, which is a Choice Scarf. And Escadrille is my Rapid Spinner, well, my secondary hazard setter, or my secondary hazard removal, and my hazard setter with rocks here. It has Earthquake, Iron Head, Stealth Rocks. Now the main purpose of Escadrille is mainly to like pretty much act as my revenge killer against the Omega Aerodactyl, as well as some other Pokemon, including the Crobat, I'm trying to think of someone, like the Hydreigon, if it's not Scarf. And by the way, I do have Mold Breaker just so that Hydreigon can't just switch in. Like, it's gonna take an Earthquake no matter what happens, so yeah. I outspeed Bucephalon, that's not Scarf, or Beast Speed Boosting, and like the only mons I really have to worry about are like the Regen Core, X, anything that could just use Body Slam and paralyze this thing. But yeah, I do have to be careful about like letting this guy go down early because this is one of my main checks to Bucephalon. That's non-Scarf. if it's Scarf, then of course Porygon and Charizard X can deal with it very well. And I'll detail that in a bit. So I do have Rapid Spin because it's kind of like a last minute thing. And I didn't know what to add. And I figured Rapid Spin just because I maybe just want to keep rocks up on his field instead of my field, so yeah. And also I know I could have run Rock Slide or even Toxic, but I figured like Amoonguss is already like a really good user of it, so yeah. So like this is pretty much our main revenge killer. It pressures things like and it would be a good mon to pressure like towards the late game, like his team. So mainly the reason why I brought like Escadrille was because Jirachi, and as you notice, like you'll notice with Charizard X, my team is lacking a physical attacker, and Escadrille kind of fulfills that role very well, as well as like checks Jirachi that's not scarfed. So especially if it's like some kind of weird like setup with I don't know, like Calm Mind. That way I just Earthquake it to bits. So yeah. That's about it for Escadrille. Then we have Amoonguss with Sludge Bomb, Foul Play, Toxic, Spore, with holding the Rocky Helmet. So this mon was pretty much my emergency check slash counter to Azumarill, and this used to be a Greninja. And the reason why I changed it to Greninja from Greninja to Amoonguss was because of the grass typing and the poison. Because one, Azumarill is a problem because I can't really switch into it, and I kind of want some free Rocky Helmet damage onto it, dip it down over time, makes it easier to check, especially when I have Sludge Bomb and Toxic. The other thing is I kind of need a poison Pokemon just to absorb Toxic Spikes from the potential Pex, and that way I don't have to like go to Escadrille or go to Zapdos 100% of the time just to remove hazards from Toxicpex. So yeah. It's pretty obvious that Pex can beat this set because of the fact that I have no recovery move. Man, if this thing had aromatherapy, like to be honest, this would be like one of the better mons on this team, because aromatherapy would just mean like I could run knockoff on Clef. So yeah, but alas, so yeah. I do have Toxic and Foul Play. I mean, not Foul Play. I do have Foul Play because I wanted to hit on incoming Jirachi, and also a potential Bucephalon, because that just one-shots it. Foul Play just one-shots Bucephalon, which is crazy. And it also helps me prevent like any form of setup. So it also helps me against Jirachi because it does like a minimum like 30%, or like somewhere around 30 or 40% if he's like max attack with no bulk. So yeah, and especially if he's gonna try to keep Iron Head flinching me, I have like counters to this with Amoonguss plus Zapdos with static, so that way he can't pretty much lock me down with Iron Head flinches. So yeah. Yeah, and also we have Escadrille to prevent that, so Scarf can't flinch me, so yeah. We do have Toxic just to wear down like things like Miltank, like an Arrow, and Tangrowth specifically, just to like, because we know that those mons are gonna just be like very annoying in general. Like Tangrowth's gonna be pivot, same with Miltank. Just sets up rocks, might be a setup mon in general, so yeah. And I do have Spore, despite having double status again, so from like last week or last battle, because the reason why I have Spore is because this is pretty much a momentum based move, because let's say if I am able to, like, since Amoonguss is very slow, I'm gonna be able to get a guaranteed turn of sleep when I switch out, so, or attack in general. So this is gonna be helpful just to like put something to sleep and just get out of there and recover, or recover one of my mons, or even like do something. So yeah. I do want to point out that this thing is very important given like Regenerator, the fact that I'm able to switch around, get recovery back. I just need this thing to be alive, take hits until it's like kind of done or its job or so whatnot. So this set might seem unorthodox, but it looks very competent to me. So yeah. So let's talk about the last two sets. Charizard. So Charizard is pretty much like, as you can see, it has no like fire moves, and I figured the reason why I should do this is because 7 of his 11 Pokemon 7-11 like are resistant to fire, and I really can't break him in general, and I can't set up in front of like a Pex or in front of like a Miltank without something happening, whether it be Toxic or Thunder Wave. So I figured the next best thing was to like set up substitutes. Now substitute is kind of weird given that he does have Infiltrator Crobat, though I do have Bulk to take a hit from it as long as it's not choice band. So yeah, Dragon Claw and Thunder Punch surprisingly hit his entire team for hard damage. The only things that doesn't it will take it very well are Jirachi, which I'm gonna try to bluff the fire move and pressure him. Dragon Claw, not Dragon Claw. What was it again? Miltank, which to be honest, Miltank is really handled by the bulk of my team in general, and especially if I have Toxic. What was the other mon I was thinking about? No, Azu just takes like a Thunder Punch to the face, as well as Pex. Oh yeah, no, Crobat. Yeah, we got Crobat there. So no, I think, oh yeah, Jirachi. Jirachi is somewhat problematic if it's like some kind of wish set, but anything aside that means I could just kind of semi-stall it with sub, like any physical Jirachi set I can semi-stall it with sub Thunder Punch. Hopefully get a fish for a Thunder Punch paralysis, but in that situation I would want to wear it down just enough, or just have one of my other defensive mons just wear it down. So yeah. The only thing I'll say about Charizard X is basically if you look at his team, like his main role is just to attack. Like if you look at Aerodactyl, I could just spam Thunder Punch and Dragon Claw, it'll die. Jirachi, I kind of have to like hope for the best, dude. But I have my team overall, so Zygarde, Dragon Claw with some prior damage should kill it. Blacephalon, well, a Dragon Claw would kill it because it has very low pitiful defenses. Azumarill, I have to be very careful with Azumarill because Thunder Punch is all I have, and especially if it's some kind of like weird. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Like, the reason why I have Substitute Char X is because one of the main reasons why I have it is because like not only does it help me against like Toxapex, I could take a Skull from it, but against Parasong Azumarill, if I ever to like set up a substitute against Azumarill while trapped with Whirlpool, I pretty much escape, and therefore I can't get trapped by Azumarill. So if it's the Parasong set with like probably Sap Sipper and like Dick Fat or Ditfat, then likelihood is that I'm going to be able to escape that, get some chip damage onto it, or recover and just out. So that's why I wanted that set. It just like Substitute became more and more attractive. That was like then like Dragon Claw, not Dragon Claw, but Dragon Dance or Flavelet, so in general. So yeah, like that's why I felt like Charizard was very important, because it kind of hits his entire team for heavy damage. And like the only thing that really, and also the speed, so, and the only thing that really scary are Scarfers, a Specs Blacephalon, and like Mega Aerodactyl, but that's already like, it doesn't want to switch into it, so yeah. So last one I want to talk about is Porygon 2. And Porygon 2 is pretty much like the one Pokemon that I really focused on the most. aside the whole like figure out my 6th mon, but Porygon 2 was definitely the mon I focused on the most. And to be honest, I thought I wasn't going to bring Porygon 2 at all, but I realized how important it was to check Mega Aerodactyl. Like, it checks like a vast majority of his team, including like Hydreigon, non-choice band or knockoff Azumarill, Miltank, Toxapex, Tangrowth, etc. Like Porygon 2's bulk is pretty much comparable to that of Toxapex, if better. So, like, none of these Pokemon, with the exception of maybe the Jirachi, the Azumarill, and possibly Blacephalon, can break through like Porygon 2, but they have to set up or like remove its item, which I'm gonna get to that in a bit. So, Ice Beam and Discharge are general coverage, Volt Beam coverage. And I do have Download just to get a potential special attack boost, and also check whether he's physically defensive or specially defensive. That's nice information. Now, the biggest, like, I'd say, draw of the set is basically Substitute. Now, what Substitute does is not only do I escape from, like, Perish trapping, but I also can, like, avoid any, like, I could also avoid, or not avoid, any status, and even prevent my Eviolite from getting knocked off, which is very, very helpful against Tangrowth, so that's the whole point of the set. Pretty much to be annoying, fish for paralysis with Discharge, and just pick off anything, so yeah. And that's about it, so that's my team for CIL Finals. And I guess that's all to do, is just get right into the battle, so I'll be right with you.